Howdy y'all, welcome to Nerd Studio. We're out at the range today with part 2 of our SI target stand videos. Stay tuned. So a couple of weeks ago we were out here with target stands from SI Targets. It's this bracket system here, and we really like them. They connect up with a rebar and a 2x4 and make for a great rifle stand. We talked about it then was that they actually have discontinued this particular bracket set, and so I promised I'd get their new version of this and try it out. So that's what we're going to do today. One of the other things that we have to show you today is a new way to mount your targets. So one of the downsides of this kind of system with chains is you're constantly shooting through the chain, and the chain is expensive. It's not cheap, particularly if you're going to break it. You can see on this target here we've shot through this chain a couple of times, and they're a pain. You get out and you fire 2 or 3 rounds and you've already shot through the chain, and now you've got to go figure out how to replace it. So SI Targets offers this as a solution. This is kind of a, I don't know, when I first saw them on their website, I thought it was just going to be kind of the inside of a tire, but it's obviously not. They're purpose made for this, and it's pretty straightforward. You hang the 2 slats over your 2x4, and we've got some bolts, and you bolt your target to it. Looking on their website, these things should take hundreds of hits from just about anything. It's just a rubber slat. Not only that, but because they're really stiff, it should cut down on the side-to-side wobble. So Ricky and I, my new cameraman, we're going to set this thing up for you, and then we're going to go shoot it. It's really sturdy. So basically you're using EMT posts rather than the rebar, which is a lot easier to deal with because the EMT is not near as nasty. One of the things they did talk about was you really want to tow these things out and get the stand as sturdy as you can. The folks at SI Targets watched the video for me and said, yeah, it was some of the wobble we had with the rebar setup was we didn't tow the rebar out far enough. So this, I'm actually caulking this bracket in like that, and this thing is really sturdy in comparison. I think we can actually put even a little more pressure on it. We're using our goofy 2x4 still from the last video that's got the bow in it, so forgive that. This is just our test bed. The one difference about this setup, the 2x4 is now flipped with the wide portion toward the shooter. I don't know that that's going to be a downside, but we will end up shooting this 2x4 more than if it were on its side. But the trade-off is the way this, well, 2 things. This stand is made out, or these brackets are made out of AR500 steel, and now they're sideways to the 2x4. So the bracket is much more expensive than the 2x4. I'd rather shoot the 2x4 than the bracket. That was the only thing about the original version of this is it wasn't AR500 steel, and the box of it. Rick, you want to grab one of those and so we can show it to the camera? The box of it, I mean, it's sturdy, it's well made, it's just not AR500 steel, and it has a much larger profile toward the shooter, where these brackets don't. So you can see it here. That's the old version's bracket. So you were, logic says you're going to shoot that more than you're going to shoot this, and this is made to take the bullet hits. So cool. Let's put on the target and take a look at that. Okay. Up. I tell you, that's going to cut that side-to-side motion tremendously. Let's go back and tater it. Wow, we're really impressed with this target stand setup. I liked the brackets that we had in the first video. They worked really well. These are better. With the EMT legs and the way that these brackets sort of angle in on that 2x4, this stand is as sturdy as can be. The EMT conduit, I think these are 5-foot legs. I think I paid under $3 a piece for those at Lowe's. So it's a cheap, sturdy solution. You need 3/4 inch EMT for this. That's what fits on the legs there. Probably the most amazing thing of this system are these belts. You can see as we're shooting this thing, we're hitting it with 147 grain 308 at 100 yards, and the target stays nearly 100% steady. If we hit it on the far edge, we'd see it twist some, but it comes right back. The stiffness of the rubber brings it right back into place. And most of the time, you can see in the camera, all we were seeing was it swing. Now, one thing, we had it mounted incorrectly as we were shooting it. We ended up having to go up to SI Target's website and actually look at the picture for how they mounted it. We've now remounted the target on the belts correctly. We were getting a ton of spalling and did a bunch of damage to the belts. You can see it here. We flipped the belt around. Even so, there's plenty of life left in that belt, even though we screwed it up. And now that we've got it mounted correctly, I'm expecting it to go and go and go. The one thing you will notice is it was sort of shifting down the 2x4. That could be partly that we've got a piece of scrap 2x4 that we're using here. But I think what we'll do is we'll just take a couple of nails, tap them in here, bend them over sort of on the inside once we've got the whole system set up the way we want it, and that should keep the targets from shifting left and right. I'm immediately going to go off and order 2 more sets of these and hang the rest of our rifle gong targets on one system like this. It's perfect. Really dig it. You know, we've tried a lot of rifle gong solutions out here, and this is by far the best I've seen. Fantastic. Good job, SI Targets. You're going to get a ton of business from me and hopefully from my viewers. So like I said, the EMT's less than $3 a pop. This set of the rubber slats are, I think, they're 36 inches long, and they were $16 a set, and that comes with the bolts for mounting. That's an incredible buy compared to chain, and so it's going to last so much longer. The brackets themselves were $31 or $33. I'll put a link in the description to SI Target's website. Definitely go check that out if you're looking for a really good rifle gong setup. Man, this is it. And, you know, if you don't have a range, but you've got a place you can go shoot, but you've got to break down and take it away, this is a really simple setup. It completely comes right apart. You just slide that 2x4 out, take the legs off, slide your target off the end, and you're good to go. We're going to, you know, obviously replace this piece of scrap 2x4 and probably use a piece of treated 2x4 as Ricky's thinking. it'll make it a little softer, so if we do shoot it, it'll splinter less, probably last longer. Man, I love good products. All right, folks, always remember, anyone can shoot, and you get to shoot at a really cool rifle gong if you get this set up. Anyone can shoot and have fun. We'll see you next time.